Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with a continuation of our Arcanium run. We're gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. Give a little introductory to those of you who may need some catching up. So, we recently checked out this right here. We want plated greaves because it's gonna help Lady out quite a bit, like just a smidgen. Maybe that's actually not worth buying now that I look at it, but of all of the dash artifacts that we have available to us, unless we can, get a forge down here in Uzir. That's pretty much as good as it's going to get for us. Otherwise, Lady's already set up. She's almost completely blue. The only reason why she has a couple of other cards is to fill out the deck and dual taunts. Otherwise, we got like 3 parries, 2 of which are parry pluses. She has access to fencing boots for a little bit more draw. She has barkskin armor, which basically is royal breastplate for us, except it also works on red cards. Wood chime is really just there just to get her up to full health, and then she's probably going to swap over to something else that we just don't have yet. Holy Chalice, because she's doing a lot of taunting, where in Anador there's quite a bit of multi-hits, especially when you start going into Elite and Shard boss battles, because a lot of them actually gain hits on their multi-hits instead of damage. She can get quite a bit of spirit, and as I mentioned last video, spirit goes into her passive, it goes into barkskin armor, it goes into royal breastplate, it goes into, if we get outplay, that's probably going to replace Vault Strike here. It goes into our shield steel. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So, we wanted to get as high of that as possible while still being safe, and of course, when all those things go into spirit, you basically just rack up enough spirit, play parry a couple of times, and you block most attacks. Like, obviously, ultimates are still going to be a problem, but we have Lazar with Void Vessels. In worst case scenario, he'll just HP tank it. But we're not going to be able to keep doing this forever, right? We're about to go into Act 3, and up until this point, basically his starter deck with just cloth shoulders and his passive has been more than good enough for him to just eat absolutely everything. He doesn't care about hemo. Yeah, he'd prefer to block it, but he doesn't really have to worry that much about it. He's still doing damage. Really not a care in the world. We don't even have Exsanguinate, we have Unleash Hell, which gives us more hemo, but the amount of damage that we're getting out of him and his ability to defend the team through use of his own health bar is absolutely incredible. But as we keep going up in difficulty, we're going into Act 3, soon we're going to be fighting bosses there, and we're going to fight Enakon. He's going to have difficulties with quite a few bosses, quite a few Akans, and there's going to be a couple of ults and attacks that are just going to tear him up, and we've got to be careful of that. So if we're going to focus on anything here, we need to try and get just a couple of things really for Lazar to help round out his defensive kit, or help him deal a little bit more damage, so that Lady can maybe, now that she's all set up, take most of the brunt of those or half the attacks, and then he takes the other half and then just heals himself back up, right? So hopefully the two of these together can just solve defense. Meanwhile, Tara's going to go off and do Tara things. What are some things that we'd like to see? In Anador, there's Trunk Splitter, which is every time that you hit something, you get 1 resilience. Actually, ridiculously incredible on Lazar. He still doesn't have an heirloom. The heirloom that I honestly want would be Crimson Talisman, the cleanse on Hemopop, because DOTs are something that we really don't want anybody else having. We would prefer to just cleanse on Lazar. Tara has a cleanse on hand, but it's really there because it should be there, especially if we're here. There's a lot of enemies that are going to be dealing poison and stuff like that. but especially against certain bosses, certain icons that like to just stack up, say, Hex, like to stack up Burn, we'd rather not deal with that. So being able to take all of that on Lazar if possible and just have him pop it because he pops at least, if not every turn, every other turn, and just get rid of all of that stuff. And it also pretty much enables him to potentially like solo the bosses that he would normally have trouble with. So that's a huge get. Otherwise, like the one that gives you an additional 2 hemo before you pop, really not concerned about that. We have no outlets for it. We were offered an Ignore Pain Plus, which would generally be like an instant pick on him, but I decided to make Tara great instead. If we see another Ignore Pain, either in a trainer shop or it's rewarded to us, absolutely 100% we take that. Otherwise, Nightbringer's okay, but he's not really our damage. That's really going to add up to, like, I don't know, like 8 to 12 damage every 3 turns, which is like 75% of a turn for him. The main thing is that if we were to play everything correctly, his Vampire Bite would potentially heal an additional, like, 3 damage. Woo. We have Claw Shoulders. We don't really care about that. And then, of course, if we can get the means of applying poison on Lazar, this is the person who we'd want to have it, so that if we also get the ability to crit off poison, Tara wants that. And then that would pretty much set up our damage incredibly. We might put these Crimson Potions in there because it's really the only way that we're able to give Tara damage besides applying Vulnerable. We'll have to see about that. Tara, we almost have in place. Our best arrow right now, going over here because it makes more sense. We have Sentinel Quiver, which puts the arrow on top of the first arrow we play each turn goes on top of our deck instead of into the discard. And then, of course, Training Bow. First range card we play each turn, we draw a card. And then, of course, every time that we draw a card, which we do a lot of because we're just Tara, we get some shield, which is going to help, mitigate some damage that's coming her way. If she does get, like, some DOT put on her, she should be able to last long enough to get to Essence Cocoon, which is pretty much her only block, and Cleanse. We have Blurring Speed to help cycle through our deck quick. And unfortunately, Explosive Arrow Plus is still our best arrow. You might even argue Serrated Arrow, but obviously Explosive Arrow Plus just does more damage. And so then we have 2 free quick draws to just pull it out wherever it's at and just keep using it. Infernal Armor just helps us get to our ult faster. That's just about all that does. And Axe Throw isn't an arrow. That sucks. So we have it in the deck. If we get a good arrow, that replaces this. Otherwise, Camouflage is just another defensive tool. Gain Stealth, which is pretty much taunt for whoever's in the middle lane. So it'll divert attention over there, and if it does combo, which is a little difficult for her admittedly, because all of her green cards have combo, and so she can't combo off all of them. But we're pretty much able to make it work, and Blurring Speed, the extra 1 haste, isn't really good for us, so... Or it's good for us, but it's not really the reason why we have the card. We have the card for the 2 haste. So we'd be able to play Blurring Speed in either Essence Cocoon or Camouflage. Then, of course, she heals a little bit from it, which is good. Anyways, that was a little long-winded. Hopefully I didn't lose any of you guys. And our plan, since we are at threat 19, is this is the last fight of Act 2. So we want to take on this shard battle. It could still be pretty difficult. Again, looking at the province details, the bestiary. It can be... It's not Magrock, because that would require him to be purple. It could be Black Fang, who is annoying, just reflects 100% of the first direct damage taken in a turn. Lazar can pop that easily, but he also deals area wound, which obviously Lazar doesn't like, because his whole idea is just to HP tank everything. He can put up backlash, which is annoying because then we can't really attack him. And then, of course, this is actually going to be somewhere around, I believe, 71 damage? Because he gets an extra, like, 50% on that. It's pretty close to 71 damage. Who else is here? Widowmaker is very annoying because puts down the 6 poison. We don't have access to the Lazar cleanse, otherwise he'd just be able to pop that and not care. Also puts down like a lot of poison as well. Could also be Noxia, which is who we got last time. Definitely the easiest one of the bunch, and we really wouldn't mind seeing Noxia again here, but it's Widowmaker. Okay. I don't think that, like, that's I'm gonna have to hold up. That seems like it's definitely not a bug. I understand, but the problem is that Void Wings itself is bugged, and so that's why I had to send that in. We've been working on swapping out like a bunch of these, and by we I mean Deb Josh, and I'm just like, hey, like you missed Void Wings on this guy. Honestly, I'm a little bit afraid of the poison already. I don't want to give it Void Wings shouldn't technically make a difference, but like the one good thing about Void Wings is what we could do is we could purposely trigger it, get him to a side, get Tara to fire explosive arrows at specifically the opposite side so that she doesn't have to worry about all this business. But if we do that, then we're leaving the other person who's in Widowmaker's lane to eat all that poison. It's just rough all around. The only reason why we would want to do that is because of the fact that Void Wings is bugged, and if we can get it to pop off, the bug to activate, we win the fight. Like 100%. It's literally not a contest. But otherwise, honestly, with the amount of damage that we actually do, we're going to have a lot of difficulties dealing this much damage at once. So it's going to be over a lot of turns, which means that Widowmaker's passive is going to be going off a lot. I'll be perfectly honest, we honestly might be dead. This is the one person we really didn't want to see. Tara's got some damage though, so maybe we're fine. This guy stuns, it's very annoying. I don't think there's really much that we can do about that. Let's do this. Well, this is interesting. All right. I wasn't actually expecting to get both of these at once. We really can't do much with this because we just don't have enough AP. But we'll do this just so that we draw through our deck faster. It does mean that we're not going to have anything really next turn, but we will have Infernal Armor, which will allow us to draw in. Really quite misfortunate, but what else are you going to do? Cry, I guess. We could do Crying. Crying might be nice. Okay, this time I think we want to take this. Especially with Essence Cocoon in hand. Even though we actually cannot proc it now that I think about it. Little sad boop. Alright. That is good to see. And honestly, if anyone's going to take that damage, it should be you. And we're good. Do I want you to not shield? I think we're actually fine for now. Let's not do anything funky with that. Do that damage. Yeah, this is good. Okay. We might be okay. But as you can see, it's been 2 turns and we did 100 damage. We need to be faster. We'll let you eat this. Wait, why did you not? That's annoying. Okay. Oh, because I was weakened and had no base damage. That's hilarious. Don't hit me with that right now. And I will gladly just deal another 5 damage, honestly. Oh boy. Probably should have put this down, huh? Certainly helps. Okay. Quick draw, explosive arrow. Explosive arrow. Okay, yeah, this stealths regardless, so that's good. Lazar being stunned for a turn is no es bueno, but we really don't have a option right now. You know what? Definitely didn't think about that. That's a problem. There's literally nothing that we can do about that. I still think we're gonna live somehow. We just need to make sure we know that we're gonna let Lazar die here because he's gonna die. Because we're Dwimbus. I'm wondering if this Infernal Armor is worth it because we're not gonna... We might though. There is duel there. I don't think that we do though. So we're gonna use this instead. Oh, that's free. I'm an idiot. I was thinking maybe... I mean, we're almost gonna have to do Serrated Arrow now that I think about it, just that we have Vulnerable for the next turn. So we really can't get away with Infernal Armor. The only reason that we would do Infernal Armor is because we'd maybe get to another ult. But I think keeping that up is going to be more important. Swoop. Okay. That was an effective way to block. Yeah, again, that was entirely my fault. I definitely could have blocked all that with Lady in the center. The issue we actually ran into was that he already had so much DOT on him that he couldn't actually, like, get out of it, if that makes sense. He was going to take that damage regardless. Just making sure that I don't scuff this up again. I think we're fine. This is going to do 15. If we call an arrow, it has to be serrated, which is going to do 9. Yeah, we're out of here. Really unfortunate that we had to scuff Lazar like that. There's really no point in using this. It's just going to draw our nothing, actually. Alright, here we go. Give me that. Give me that. Yeah, that's a little embarrassing. God damn it. I specifically told you which one I wanted. I mean, it's something. I was actually thinking all day today. I was thinking all day. What I was thinking was, I obviously would prefer to have Ignore Pain because it's straight up better than Torpor. Torpor is absolutely terrible, but I don't actually care to keep Hemorrhage at a specific level because I don't have anything like Ravage or, what are we thinking of? Any legendaries, right? Because all of his legendaries scale off it too. And the problem with Torpor is that it not only, like, kills your momentum by, you know, getting rid of all your hemorrhage, it costs 1 AP to do so, and it's worse than 2 Void Vessels. I hate it. I hate Torpor so much. However, comma, it might be the right choice here. We might actually need this. I'm looking at Shatterwood Arrow, though, because Shatterwood Arrow is actually, like, incredible single target. If we're having, think of our Splinterwood Arrow, or whatever it is, the one that causes vulnerable. It is 6 cause vulnerable, which is pretty damn good. But this is 6 damage that innately crits, and we cannot for the life of us find crit. So this is basically 12 damage. All we have to do is put poison on something, and we can put poison on something, right? We can fiddle around with the deck to make Shatterwood Arrow work. Because then, when we pull a card, and it's -1 cost, and it's Shatterwood Arrow is free. So if we get both our other arrows in our hand, we could cycle through Shatterwood Arrow potentially 3 times, 4 times. That's significant. But I did tell myself that if I see Torpor, I need to not be I don't know. I don't want to take it. Oh my good lord! And I know everybody, you're already tapping down at the comments like, Mr. Bits, you have like 4 hemo available now. This thing can block for a whopping 26. 26 for 3. And I lose my hemo. It retains though, and it's gain. I can't even apply this. This is totally worse than a Void Vessel. Oh man, every time I see this, it just makes me sad. But like I said, we're gonna have to like tank more damage. Do we really walk away from Shadowwood Arrow Plus though? Down in the comments, type if I'm just huffing hopium here and I don't want to take Torpor, or if Shadowwood Arrow actually sounds good to you. Because we could just enable Poison Coating. Poison Coating would take one of our turns. It'd be pretty shitty, but again, like it's to enable Shadowwood to actually like be pretty damn good, because this means that enemy has poison, and all it really costs me is, 2 energy every other turn. That also would enable Blurring Speed, Essence Cocoon, and all that. So this would pretty much replace Shadowwood Arrow. An Axe Throw would become Shadowwood. Then she'd pretty much be set. Like, obviously we still want a better arrow. However, this is not bad. The only problem that I have is, of course, get green damage and Anador. But that's literally it. I'm going to go with this. And let's just give her 1 more AP just in case. Even though Lazar should get a draw. We ran into a problem there where we weren't able to effectively get that combo going. So let's make the combo go. And I'm not concerned about Infernal Armor's combo because of the fact that, well, our other 2 characters use, basically just Lazar now. Lady is pretty much blue except for 1 card. Oh, did I already... No, Poison Coating, that's what we want. And yeah, I would rather have Poison Coating than Toxic Arrow. Even Toxic Arrow Plus is pretty much just like a waste of space. We're going to be playing like so many arrows that just putting down Poison Coating once is going to be more than enough. The only thing about Toxic Arrow is that we could quick draw it, which is both the blessing and the curse. Okay, do we have anything that desperately needs to be upgraded? Crimson Potion wouldn't be bad. It's another apply shield. Basically, better Void Vessel. Applies Might, which is more damage. Could definitely see that. Serrated Arrow getting upgraded, or actually Aerial Shot, goes down to 1. Our deck's pretty full. Do we get rid of Blurring Speed? I suppose we could get rid of Blurring Speed, and then Aerial Shot would just make our next arrow cast an additional time, which, the only 2 arrows that we have, we would technically want to cast an additional time. Maybe we don't take this Oracle yet, though. Maybe we hit up that trainer. One thing that we did want to do, though, is we were going up to here because this is going to hit threat 21, and that is a new rarity bin. Let's go. Whoa. Hey, that's an extra vulnerable. Hey, we don't have minions. Gain 8 shield, but reduce your redraw by 1 card at the start of each turn. Lady may not care. Legitimately. If she had 4 draws, she wouldn't care. But that's not really... It's not really good. The only thing is that, again, this would be bolstered by Spirit, because if you cleanse all your Spirit at the end of your turn, enemies hit you, Holy Chalice buffs up your spirits, and then you gain this at the start of the turn. Gain 8 shield whenever you deal 20 or more damage at once. I don't think anybody does that, besides maybe Tara with her ults. These are honestly all pretty shit. However, this is a legendary. And an Uzir legendary might actually be worth picking up. So it really doesn't matter which of these we grab. Okay, we're not doing any silly shenanigans, trust me. We're going to exit the menu because we can't really just go into the province menu to take a look at that stuff. We want to know artifacts, show me Uzir legendaries. Ancestral Bulwark would actually be better than Barkskin. We would prefer not to. Book of Aeons is good because it applies slow, which is just 50% less damage taken, especially against specific enemies. Oof. Excuse me, these aren't just legendaries. Do you not work? You son of a bitch. So it can't be Ancestral Bulwark, but Book of Aeons is good. Armor of... You didn't even search at all! And then Legendary? Okay, when you do 2, it just fucks up. Okay. Noted game. Ceremonial Coif. I mean, the only person who could use this is Lazar because he has Void cards. Gain 4 shield whenever you play Void cards, but they don't gain Fury. We kind of need his ultimate to deal, like, pretty good damage. Like, I guess we have the Flask now. Maybe Tara swaps back over to Vulnerable if she does get Heartseeker Arrow, I believe it's called. But... Like, he could fit it. Like, that's not really the problem. Elemental Maul. That'd be a little spiced. Double Fury would mean that we would just be popping off ultimates on Tara. Pretty nice. Or we put this on Lazar, since he actually has a ton of red cards. Then he'd be popping off ultimates all the time, and he doesn't care about the life loss. I actually quite like that. Gladiator's Trident is literally useless to us. Jakir Scimitar. That would literally be terrible. Gain 1 immune and root at the start of the turn. It doesn't really matter to Lady. Like, there is some instances where this could scuff us, but we got 2 people with, like, 3 dashes and some taunts. Meteor Stone Plate would actually be relatively good. Reyes Hourglass would be insane on Lazar right now. Paragon of Wisdom, insane on either Lady or Lazar right now. Raki's Aspect, it's access to power. Gain 1 power at the start of each turn, you no longer gain Fury. Like, I think I would prefer Resplendent Aegis on Tara instead of Raki's Aspect. I think that we can get more damage out of it. But maybe we can do Raki's Aspect and just hope that we pump through it fast enough. But since we don't actually have any access to, like, good healing, it's a little bit spookums. Gain 1 AP and draw 1 card whenever you trigger a combo effect up to 3 times per turn. That is actually insane. So I'm actually liking what I see here. I think we might actually take that and send it that way. But Anador, main thing that I would be looking for there is not necessarily Nature's Might. Obviously, Lady blocks for a ton, so that would be kind of cute. Critical damage dealing extra damage would be insane. Like, that would really turn us around. Otherwise, Twisted Staff, maybe. Lady's almost there, where she could get away with that. But really, I think that it would be a lot of work just to make that work for Lady. And she already does her job, right? Like, we don't have to get more insane. It would be pretty fucking insane, though. But, again, I don't think that we necessarily need to do that. Yeah. That's pretty much how I feel about that. Death Wish would be nice. Yep, that's about it. So there's like 3 good hits in Anador, but like a whole fuck ton in Uzir. So we're taking this to Uzir. Pack your things, we're moving to Uzir. Upgrade an artifact, we don't care about Priest Battle Guard. Excuse me? Is this not in Uzir? Oh my fucking god. We got Death Wish, it's fine, but oh, what? Hunter's Cloak we could use, but 3 health whenever you play those is yikes. It's technically better than Twisted Staff, but it costs you life, and we'd prefer not to. So that's basically our crit. And we have a guaranteed crit, so it's honestly not too bad. I'd kind of like to get to this here, which means going through this Elite Assault, which I'm feeling pretty okay on. There's even a campfire there, look at that. This guy can stun, so we're a little bit concerned about him. This guy's really freaking annoying. Deals 2 shock upon taking 8 direct damage or more. Don't like it. We honestly might just burn you, because I would much rather, like, not have to deal with that shit. This is honestly looking fine. We'll go with this. Okay. This is going to be a bit rough for just one turn. No, we'll do that. Otherwise, generally, you would burn this guy because he takes less damage from physical hits. Okay, the stun is out. That is a little bit concerning. You have Vampire Bite, though. I pretty much have to nom on you. A little bit concerning. We really need to replace this with the vulnerable potion. That would have been quite a bit of damage for us that we're going to miss out on now. See, now we're getting the damage. Good things come to those who wait, or something like that. Oh my good lord, what the heck? We won't stop! How much damage did we just do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60? 80. That's an 80 damage turn. That's acceptable. If we also had vulnerable, that would have been doubled. Oh my lord. Okay, I think this Tara's really starting to pop off with a fucking Shatterwood arrow. It's a common. We're still using common arrows. Oh man. Oh, Lady's gonna get quite a bit of hex here. Excuse me, I thought I told you no? Redo that. Thank you. We're actually just gonna go ahead and do this. Now they're vulnerable, and this should... Okay, you're dead. So I had a question for the comments planned and everything. Question for the comments was, what song do you have that you really like but has pretty like problematic or yikes lyrics, right? Like an easy example I have is I'm not really a fan of like country music, but you have like when I was growing up there was artists like Garth Brooks, right? And he has one song called The Thunder Rolls. And I think that that's just an absolutely like beautiful song. And I was telling my dad about it one day, who does like country, and he's like, "You're fucking kidding me, right? That's about an affair." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, come on." But as an even, ooh, okay, let's go. An even spicier. Oh my good lord! You just won't stop. You won't stop. Can't stop. Give me more of that. Anyways, as another example, I listen to a lot of synthwave, synthetic wave, retro synth, dark synth, horror synth, all that stuff, right? And one of my favorite artists is Trevor something, and he has a song called Forever, which is basically like inspired by Phil Collins in The Air Tonight, has sort of like the same sort of feel to it. So obviously it's like a bop, right? And then you go ahead and you listen to the lyrics, and it's pretty much like a Blue Oyster's Cult Feeler Reaper, where it's like, hey, you know, we're having a great time. If we just, you know, offed ourselves right now, we wouldn't have to know anything else but this. And it's like, oh wait, what the frick is going on here? Like, what the hell, man? How can you be a bop and like still, and like that's the message that you're conveying? Oh man, but can we vulnerable you perchance? Probably not with Lazar in the fucking tank. We could crit you a bit. Man, you're gonna get away again. We just can't kill you, can we? Anyways, let's get that out, I guess, then. This should kill. Another, like, in the sort of like synthwave, dark wave, that sort of stuff. I listen to a lot of Dead Astronauts, which you may have heard me, like, you know, reference occasionally. But they too, like, they've got like a very great sound, and then you listen to the lyrics, and like one of them is about like human sacrificing, like taking someone out to the woods and sacrificing them, and it's like, holy shit, what the hell am I listening to? If someone like popped in, and I'm pretty sure the FBI agent who watches my internet history is very concerned about me right now. Sitting back there like, oh my god, this kid's crying for help. No, it's just a vibe, my dude. Let's go. We're missing it by a little bit. Oh man. There we go. Now you're dead. Anyways, we took quite a bit more damage than I was kind of expecting to take there. Oh wait, if we use your ult, we heal. Whoosh! Anyways, that's my music rant. Down in the comments below, feel free to, you know, include your examples. Multi-strike, do we even care? I don't think we care on this team. That could hit like a single legendary for Lazar that we're currently set up for because we have what's a Madugit? If that makes it, that doesn't make any sense. Bladed Justice is pretty good for helping Lady tank because every other turn she's going to get immune. Just makes her overall tanky. Restore 3 health whenever you deal critical damage up to 2 times a turn. Now you see, that sounds a hell of a lot better than the draw relic that we currently have on Tara, but Tara's also not really using her life for anything. If we would have gotten the power into... What am I trying to say? Power into... Or, you lose 2 health, but you gain power every turn from Uzir, that legendary relic. Vanquisher's Pauldron pretty much just solve up that whole problem for us. But right now it's like, Brass Knuckles has the most payout. Bladed Justice is just the safest. We're going to take Brass Knuckles though because I am a fool. Attunement, oh my freaking god. Multi-shot is actually... Is it bad? We just got Brass Knuckles. So this always hits for 2. If we get it in the right hand, it'll hit a 3rd time, maybe a 4th time. We could reset the whole deck just to fit this, but... We're just not set up for it. It has retained though. Like we could just slot it in there and just wait for it to be good. 10 damage though, upgrades to 15. As opposed to Lady just blowing up. Like, our damage is... I'm gonna die on this hill here. I just know it. like, by the end of this video, I'm going to be dead. Actually, holy shit, it's already been 50 minutes. Not by the end of this video. I'll probably try and finish this run over the weekend. Maybe tomorrow. Don't take my word for that, though. Bits has been known to lie. I would much rather Lady be more consistent at defending than Tara have, like, an inconsistent, like, good damage payout. Because as you saw, we already got a 100 damage turn, and we're getting, like, high damage turns quite often. Right? It's one thing to have a 100 damage turn, or, like, even, like, a 600, like, obviously you can get up to 600, right? You can get up to 500 damage turns. But the thing is that 100 damage turn isn't really, like, something that only happens every 3 turns. We're getting, like, 60 damage turns every turn, and then sometimes it's 100. So that means that without, like, and then that was without vulnerable too, right? So we add vulnerable, all of a sudden we're getting like 200 damage turns, 120 damage turns. So we're killing a con in like 4 turns. We just have to survive long enough, right? Multi-shot would give us potentially an incredibly huge turn once every 3 turns. You understand? you get what I'm saying? Like, technically speaking, whenever we use multi-shot, it would go back into our hand. But then we're waiting for our arrows to come back into our hand. This could get set up. I'm not even saying that this is like something that we cannot do. Multi-shot can certainly happen. And again, we are technically set up for it. If we don't have arrows in our hand, guess what? We just use quick draw and put arrows in our hand. So this should hit, oh well, it should hit 3 times. So it's 30 damage versus vulnerable is 60. Like, it's a decent hand. And then it goes on top of our deck. We draw it again. We could add another multi-strike in there for another 10 damage. So then it's 7. But then we'd probably have to get rid of training bow. So then next turn we would have multi-shot and it would retain. So, like I said, we're set up. We could run multi-shot, but I don't think that the juice is worth the squeeze. So we're going to take attunement. And then we're going to take this camp. And then we're going to be close to here so that we can get another cheap heal in the event that we need it. Get rid of Flask of Destruction. I want Lethal Flask so that if Lazar is dead or for whatever reason can't do what he needs to do, when Tara has a good turn, we for sure have vulnerable out there. Anyways, we have attunement. We want that upgraded. We could actually just pay for that. I don't think that we've upgraded anything in the shop up above. So this will replace our Vault Strike. Right? Yep, upgrade is 200. I'm willing to spend that. Give it to me. Okay. Give me my camp. Honestly, upgrade 1 chosen card? Aerial shot? Maybe? I'll be honest, Leechwood Arrow is also looking pretty slick right now. Now that we've actually got the poison rolling for air quotes free. That would theoretically get rid of Essence Cocoon, but we don't really want to do that. Get rid of Camouflage, maybe? Not sure how I feel about that. Aerial Shot's probably going to replace Blurring Speed, to be perfectly honest. That is if we upgrade that. Maybe the honest-to-God correct answer here is Serrated Arrow. We upgrade Serrated Arrow, And then we apply 2 vulnerable. Now we technically don't need Lazar, which is kind of a funny thing to say. But otherwise, like, this is gonna block, and then it's gonna get in the way of our like shenanigans. It retains though, so don't we have another retain? We have camouflage for retain, and that's it, right? Oh, these quick draws retain. Okay, we can't really fiddle around with that shit. We have too many retains. Meep. Is there anything, like, maybe another parry plus? That doesn't really sound like it's worth it. Honestly, maybe our Crimson Potion. Because then that goes up to 2 might, 8 shield. Otherwise, what the hell was I looking at? Aerial shot. Aerial shot replacing blurring speed. So that I just get more uses out of whichever thing that I want to get uses out of. Getting rid of blurring speed would work, air quotes, because of the fact that we have Shadowwood Arrow now to activate our Camouflage and Essence Cocoon. Yeah, that honestly might be it. Hello? Did I skip it? There it is. This is the equivalent of buying, like, the best muscle car possible and just filling it with cheapo fuel. Okay, so we have the Oracle here. I'm honestly thinking we keep Brass Knuckles just in case, but we have Lady's Royal Breastplate. I think that we can ditch that to possibly roll for the cleanse for Lazar. Otherwise, we don't really have any artifacts that are purple that we could upgrade into something like that's very good. Raptorian Hatchet could become like a blue. Blues, pretty good blues here, but not really worth it in my opinion. Otherwise, I suppose I could get this Assault Battle, this Luke Cage, go down here to unlock the... Yeah, we'll do that. And then that'll be just over an hour, so we'll probably call it there. Alright, let's see how this actually plays now. We fiddled with a couple of things, but I don't think that it's like a lot that we're doing. Looking pretty good. I don't want you taking that damage, so we'll go here. Champ. That'll pretty much bring us up. You have a cleanse? So maybe we actually just let you eat that? Nah. Touche. Then just dash. Might as well put this here, I guess. Should know better than to bring fire potions down here. Alright. Okay. We're going to be warded till the end of time. Perfect. I think that if I actually would have put that down there, you would have been dead. But now Lady's gonna get stunned, and that's terrible. How could it happen like this? Oh, that's kind of misfortunate. There we go. This will work out, though. Don't you worry about a thing. Perf. As you can see, Lady's kind of getting there. You know what? That should have been down. I am a fool. Oh, we're just short. That's misfortunate. Regen some life. I don't know why I didn't play that Void Vessel. It's literally free life for Lazar. Okay, now we gotta get you over here. Oh, man. Okay, that should be more than enough. Oh no! Pierce Heart. Hold up. Ravage is also, like, incredibly good. That could replace a Fang Strike, maybe? His job isn't really to deal damage, though. I think we almost still take this, though. It's not like Lady... Since we're getting close to the boss rush, I'm kind of hesitant to grab Cold Snap. Cold Snap is obviously very good, very easy to block for a whole bunch of people. But Lady spending 3 AP to reduce all damage by 50% isn't really enough. Unless, of course, she had, like, another, like... I don't know. Another AP, so she had 5. Otherwise, Pierce Heart is incredible. Again, I wonder what would happen if we put the Death Wish on her. Would that cause that to deal 80? That'd be ridiculous. It's almost worth taking just for that. Although I feel like we should be taking Ravage. I mean, for science. Let's figure it out, huh? You'd easily just do some random piddly-diddly fight. Otherwise, Lady draws. She doesn't really need extra draw. But Lazar could use 1 extra draw just to make himself more consistent. Get this loot cache. 1 toughness is incredible. Deal 1 shock whenever you do 5 or more damage to an enemy. Critical damage to targets affected by burn. Well, there it is. We have burn. Otherwise, that regalia for gain 4 health whenever you use your 3rd card in a turn. If we would have taken the one that made blue cards cost 1 less, but they cost 3 life, so long as we had attunement in play, that would actually allow us to play our entire... No, it's not every 3rd card. Okay, never mind. We would still need some sort of life leech. Anyways, we got this Breach Elite battle here, which we could take for free. This is free as far as threat is concerned. And then we have a shard battle nearby if we want it, but we're honestly pretty set as far as that. We should take it. It's got better odds. But just fiddling around here, for the most part, is where we're at right now. Get a free ability near the end. It could actually give us legendaries because of how late we took to get here. And we should be able to... Let's just go ahead and take a look at this. Okay. Let's take a look at this. More burn! Oh, man. So we have the ability to blow stuff up. So, here's how this works now. I don't think... Like, we should probably keep Carved Wood Pipe, which means getting rid of Training Bow, which means that we actually deal, like, less damage. Like, overall. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. The main reason why we would be taking all this is just to get crits on Explosive Arrow, which I'm actually kind of liking. Otherwise, as things are, we already apply the poison, and we crit off poison with Shadowwood Arrow. But then, of course, we have like this big old bulky frickin' explosive arrow in our deck that really becomes a little bit cumbersome. Putting on the crit versus burn would really help out with that. But we're honestly like super set here. The Carved Wood Pipe would be kind of sad to see it go, because she is blocking for like 12 every turn, which is quite significant. You can always try it out. And it honestly might be a little bit too crazy. You are looking good. Toughness would be great to pull into certain boss battles. Dispel, it's also great versus certain boss battles. I think we got a good selection of potions now. But basically what this means is that Tara now gets to start critting turn 1 regardless of what happens, which is incredible. In fact, I almost think if we get an option to upgrade, we upgrade Serrated Arrow. We actually don't even need to upgrade Serrated Arrow, because we'll play it like 6 times in a turn. That's an overstatement, of course. God damn. I honestly want another explosive arrow now. we're going to go ahead and hit this. Okay, now we got to take that elite fight. Shouldn't be a problem. Did we have a new artifact that we just picked up? Not really. Fiery Wand was something that we definitely want. Upgrade an ability. We have just some random purple lying around. No, we're looking pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. This is just good. Actually, hold up. Riptorian Hatchet is now better than a training bow. That's crazy. And that means Lazar gets an artifact. Let's go, baby. Anyways, I know the end of this was like pretty like ghost quiet. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna upgrade God, I still don't know. Like his void vessels, maybe? That just restores more health. This just adds more poison. I guess just in case, we're going to take an upgrade serrated arrow. Anyways, that's going to be the video for today. I know that I put like 3 sets of homework for you guys down in the comments below. But any other feedback that you'd like to send, be it misplay alerts, questions, concerns, comments, be sure to put them down there. I'll try and respond to every single one of them. And when we come back, we should be able to take this elite assault battle, potentially take on a shard battle, and fight our boss, fight a con, see exactly how all that ends up. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around.